this sequence here, right? This is when it starts to become getting a ground game. This is when it becomes Tekken, right? This is the Tekken that we grew up with. This is the Tekken that we've played, right? And this is, for those of you who don't understand who started in Tekken 8, this is kind of where we wanted to get it back to. None of the crazy stances, none of the crazy 50-50s, none of the crazy, oh, homing mids into plus frames into stance. No, none of that here, right? Oh, God. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still here. And, yeah, it's been a wild year and a half. You know, long story short, you know, I think life in the universe sometimes has a way of just, you know, putting you through it for character development, I guess, right? And yeah, so, you know, I think with that being said, though, we were still able to, you know, get through it, you know, learn from it, and yeah, still here. And I just want to let you know too, if you're going through it, my guys, like, it's only temporary, you know, and it's always going to get better from there. I mean, if you're in your lows of lows, just remember that, like, it could only get higher, right? So, and I'm still here, and I'm back here making videos, and that's all good, man. And I'm happy for that. And with that being said, I decided to hop back and rank for the first time in forever. And we got to from Kishin to Tekken God within, you know, in just a day. And that's when in a day, I want to say it was a good, honestly, 3-hour session, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of go through, you know, how to deal with aggressive players, because clearly after season 3, they're doubling down. They're doubling down here, and they're like, no, yeah, aggression. It's aggression. Like, genuinely don't understand where the direction of this game right now, and it's really concerning, and it's very frustrating at this point. It's very frustrating here. So I want to let you know too, so within one session right here, I was able to get ahead from Kishin all the way to Tekken God here in a relatively short amount of time. And I want to kind of go ahead and get you through that. And we're going to start at Kishin, right? We're going to go ahead and we're going to start at the Kishin ranks. And I'm going to show you basically what we can do here. So this is, as you can see, this is a season 2, version 2.91. I have not played ranked since then. So with that being said, we're back at Kishin, and sure enough, we had to deal with a Hwoarang, which, ooh, yeah, that was fun. We're getting right back to it, you know, like getting back into ranked and everything like that. This was a crazy warm-up. At least this was quite the matchup. And then, to my knowledge here, I wouldn't be surprised if this Hwoarang was a god of destruction beforehand in season 2. And what I did appreciate from this Hwoarang was that he was very calculated. He knew his moveset. This wasn't the typical matchup that you would deal with here, right? So at this point right here, we're gonna play a really grounded game here. Sidestep movements and having to take a lot of risks is going to be imperative, honestly. So as you can see here, we get the 4-2-1 whiff punish. I do want to emphasize again, and let me go ahead and lower this real quick just to make sure you guys can hear me. I need to emphasize, like, Armor King thrives in whiff punishment. Armor King thrives in range 3, and also too, he could thrive in range 2 and range 1. He can do that, right? So it's all very situational. So in this case with Hwoarang, what was supposed to happen, and this is how Hwoarang was always supposed to operate, is that yes, he has all these crazy tornado strings and everything like that, but his issue was approach, right? So if you backdashed and if you gave yourself space, you can deal with Hwoarang like this. However, they gave him new moves that actually negate that, because, you know, in season 3, you know, we've realized that a character's weakness is you know, approach and range. So to deal with that, we're gonna give him approach, tools, and range. Like, anyways, so backdashing is going to be imperative, and just, you know, make sure you get a good backdash, and then we get the 4-2-1. And then you see right there, that right there wasn't a risk. We have to take a risk there, and at the end of the day, with Heat Dash, while standing 3-2, that's a really good move. That's a really good move in Heat. So even then, right here, as you noticed, because he because he blocked down 2, and normally down 2, and we'll go ahead and get some frames in here actually so we could see all this. He's +5. It's his turn. It's completely his turn. But what I've been kind of been operating is like, you know what? Sometimes I want to break those rules, right? At the end of the day, -5, yes, you shouldn't really be doing anything. But because he went to go approach with a tool, guess what? I had a while standing 3 already coming out after him. So now at this point, we're gonna establish like, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of breaking these rules to deal with you, right? And at the end of the day, it's also 2 mental stacks, right? So sometimes you got to go ahead and pull the trigger, because at the end of the day too, what could have happened if that didn't work out, right? I could have just gotten a heat dash, and I think I would have just gotten some little extra plus frames, right? But in this case, it worked out. Forward 2 mental frames again. Shining Wizard to call it. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of these stuff out, so you guys, because we just want frames. So we notice here too that this Hwoarang really likes to go ahead and wants to go ahead and try to approach with his I forgot the whiplash, right? So we approach with 4/4 neutral 2, and the thing is too, this is not, you want to use this move not like King, right? So we're King, where I see a lot of King players, they'll just go ahead, boom, neutral 2, boom, neutral 2. You don't want to do that. This is a very situational move, and if you want practice with this, this is why I used Hayachi. This is why I use Hayachi, because the conditioning of knowing when you're doing, if you're a Hayachi player and you want to use 1 back 2, 1 back 2, and then let it rip, right, on counter hit. You can do that with this move too. And you see that backdash? This is what I'm talking about with spacing. You want to have 4-2-1 on the trigger. We don't break the wall. We want the wall. Stomp on him. I try to get the conversion. I tried. So he's gonna go ahead and get the wall break here. I'm not too sure what happened there. And then we mix up. So that's another thing too. If you guys haven't done it already yet, you guys want to go ahead and you guys are going to want to mix up Giant Swing with Shining Wizard. I mean, JDCR does it. So many people do it, right? So in this case, that's why it worked out here. See that? I dash on purpose. I dash on purpose to fake out a Shining Wizard, right? So at that point, I'm putting in like, you have to completely guess. You have to guess. Because the Shining Wizard could have closed it out as well. So it was really putting him in the edge of like, I don't know what's going on here, right? I could have ducked that. You could have ducked that, but it's okay. And at that point, because I didn't duck it, and yes, I was +13, I could have gotten a punish. I just kind of wanted to use my frames as mental frames, right? But instead of me like, okay, well, my opponent blocked that move, he's going to use a back 1. No, at that point, I'm 13 frames to be like, I could do whatever I want. I could do a 4/4 neutral 2 for offense. I can go for a grab for offense. I can do anything. Or I cannot do anything at all and then make you believe that I don't know what that move is talking about, right? I don't know what that move, the properties of that move. So when you do it again, I'm going to, you know, go ahead. You're going to get launched for it. I will duck that next time. So at that point, because I took the mental frames, guess what? I'm going to go for a chain throw. Yeah, and the thing is, Armor King's chain throws are very easy to break. I mean, 9 times out of 10, just press 2. And here we are with tracking 8. Gotta love it. Make sure that's a punish. Didn't break the giant swing. I mean, it was a little obvious there. Plus frames. Plus frames. See what I'm saying? And then with the backdash. And that's it. And we 3-0'd this guy. No round brown. You know, and what I say too, and this guy was actually tough. This guy was tough. This guy was tough, right? So, moving on to the next one. All right, so we go ahead. We have a Leo here. This guy was, I can't lie. This guy was getting to me. He was kind of triggering me. And Leo is kind of an interesting character. Very underrated character, if you ask me. Really underrated. However, if used right, you know, he could be a problem, right? So, at this point, I already got a match with him before, so I let it rip. Down back 3 to start, and guess what? It works out. This Leo was very aggressive. This Leo was very aggressive here. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Shining Wizard, and then use the chain throw for the Oki. I don't want to give him a break, right? Here he goes with the offense. Sweep. Oki. And then look, you see what I'm saying? Like, just Oh, the backdash into 4-2-1. It's dangerous, dangerous. So at that point, we're taking hits. We're taking hits. Just back away. Block. You see what happens? We were taking our hits and then we blocked and we backdash just for that one moment. Boom. That was that. I saw it right there. Boom. And then now we're gonna get the other wall. And then we're gonna get the... no, we're not. I could have done something better at that. But that's okay, but now he's at the wall. And then guess what? You thought... but the thing is, I was gonna go for a running giant swing, but for counter hitting on Wake Up, that's very dangerous to do against Armor King. You know, that's something you don't want to do in general. When you're on the floor and you're trying to get up, you just want to defend. I mean, for the most part, unless you have a hard read on your opponent, just get ready to see what your opponent's gonna do next. Heck rolls. And then at that range too, I like to do some crazy stuff, honestly. I went BC running 3+4, and then guess what? He didn't get the heat burst for that, and I think he realized that too. So that puts me back in a good situation, and I also didn't get any big damage for that either on my end. So then we're back at neutral. Right back at neutral. Spends it. Yeah. 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 Immediate down forward 2. So then that, notate that. We want to start rounds with down forward 2. We want to start rounds with just launching you. That tells me that you don't want to play small Tekken. And if you can't play small Tekken, I'm going to make sure I put you in that spot to play small Tekken. Right? Gets the 3 string, so I thought he was going to go ahead and not let it rip. I was going to punish that one. That's fine. 64 damage. Ooh, okay, that's fine. Forward 3-2 into chain throw is a really good mix-up. Almost had the launch. You see that there? We go ahead, putting them in the chain throws. Doesn't break it. Forward 4. Great Oki option. You want to really use those long legs, because when they're getting up, even from backdashing and from getting up from back, forward 4 is going to connect. Forward 4, if you just take a second, it's going to align really well. And look at that. Beefy +7. You're +7 and he's crouching. And one thing, if I said this before in my other videos, when you have an opponent that's left in crouching, you have negated around half of their move list, because they're only allowed to do the while standing moves or full crouching moves, right? So that's a great position to put them in. A little bit too far. That's fine. That's fine. I think we lose this round. That's fine. Backdash. And then that's the thing. He used a move that also realigned with me. So that wasn't gonna work, right? That's okay. Hop kick. Hop kick. No. Ah! You see what I'm saying too? When Leo start doing this, don't let that slide. You don't let that slide. No. You want to start dancing around with me? You want to start doing all that? That's fine. Because you're gonna backdash into stance, and then what do we know about grabs and stances? And then against Armor King, yeah, you're dead. Goodbye. Yeah, make sure you launch that. And that's the thing too. I think this Leo was expecting me to go ahead and start running up for immediate Oki. No, no. You see what happened here? I'm standing still. Boom, and then we get the counter hit. So that's another thing too. You gotta let them lose. You gotta let them make those mistakes too. I don't know why we're going ahead and immediately starting to do a crazy move like that. Because now I have the wall. And I broke the wall. And now I'm 80 damage and I'm not that far away. Now I got you closer to the wall. And I have heat. That was supposed to be a 4-2-1. Perfect. 7 golden letters. Beautiful. Let's see how we close this out. Hop kick. No, man, that's the thing. We're not getting punished for it. So guess what? Once we miss, we're gonna go ahead and just backdash. Look, I miss. Right? So what's the point of me trying to do it again? No. Those strings are high, so you gotta duck those. You're trying to do maximal wall carry here. Miss the combo. Plus frames. Ducks. Sidestep, spends it. Yes. Nope. So we're getting it right. We're getting it right. Just the movement is getting us. No punish on the hop kicks. No punish. I could have punished that. A lot of moves that are tracking 8. Yes. No, but it doesn't hit the wall. Nope. Break that throw. We're gonna break that anyway. The down jabs. The down jabs. Yep. And down forward. Want to close it. So that's good. That's good. Let's see. Are we gonna get a promo though? Are we gonna get a promo? 2-2. Final round. Final round. Yes, with the amazing sides. God, these sides. That's the thing. Movement. Armor King still like has his Tekken 7 movement, or like Tekken tag movement. It's insane. This is a big character, and he's moving around like it's nothing. Woo! Hop kick. Do the simple combo to make sure we're off axis. Nice shoulder to go ahead and close it out. Block, no punish. Yes, why are we pressing here? We shouldn't be pressing at that. No duck. No punish. You see at this point, this is where it all came down to. He's missing really key opportunities for him. And because of that, we're taking advantage of it. Stomp on him. Yeah, down forward 4. Really great tool. Really great tool to close everything out. And we get Tekken Emperor. And then I'll go ahead and let's do one more quick one for the Tekken God, right? Alright, yeah, I think at this point, I got really comfortable. I think I was on some demon time with this one, so we're gonna go ahead and see how that goes here. Devil Jin, right? So 50-50 monster, potentially. Electric round start, 4-4-2. At this point, this is gonna be a Mishima battle. I know my last name in this movie is not Mishima, it's Armor King, but I'm a Mishima too in this battle right here, right? So this is gonna be a great battle of movement and with punishes. And I think at this point, this is good Tekken. This is honestly good Tekken. Look at that. Yeah, I'm not even trying to like put myself on a pedestal, but again, movement, man. Movement is gonna be key, and it's gonna save you. It's gonna save you in these ranks. Movement is probably gonna be the one thing that separates you from your peers if you're blue ranks or Tekken King to that threshold past Tekken God Supreme. If you're trying to get to those ranks, you're gonna have to take these movement risks here, right? But it works out. And also too, sidestep left against Mishimas. Sidestep left, remember that. Down 4-3 to go ahead, and for the wall carry, ooh, miss it. That's okay. Ah, we're pressing. We shouldn't be pressing here. 4-4, as you said, as we said before, right? 4-4, great move to go ahead for Oki. Sidestep 3 hits. Wave dash. It's a Shining Wizard, but that's okay. He breaks it. Scary. I don't like to try to whiff punish electrics. That's something I don't try to do. If you want to try to whiff punish electrics, you gotta be like, you gotta whiff punish them as they're coming out, which is not something you should do. Oh my goodness gracious, a hard duck on that. Great read there. Big damage. Activate heat. Bad Jaguar setup there. Okay, that's a great something I've learned too. Insane wall setup. Scary wall setup. Block the homing move. Heat burst. Down 2. There he goes. Armor King has a hatchet. We're gonna use it in Tekken 8. I don't care. At this point, super defense. We don't need to do anything crazy. At this point, we have the life lead. I want to go ahead and really just show you this sequence here, right? This is when it starts to become getting a ground game. This is when it becomes Tekken, right? This is the Tekken that we grew up with. This is the Tekken that we've played, right? And this is, for those of you who don't understand who started in Tekken 8, this is kind of where we wanted to get it back to. None of the crazy stances, none of the crazy 50-50s, none of the crazy, oh, homing mids into plus frames into stance. No, none of that here, right? This is going to be movement. You see what's happening here? Defense. And once you go ahead and move this block, we're going to go ahead and defend. Stunner, failed stunner. Good grab break. Down forward to the catch. Great duck. and then we're gonna use the power crush, because at this point I felt like he was gonna be a little bit desperate to secure that, right? He wanted to really secure that offense because it was too much of a ground game. Yep, we have a forward 4-2 as well. We're gonna use it. Good jab, good jab. Went for the 2 break. I don't know how that tracking 8. Oh, we try to whiff punish the electric. Wow, and then look, we whiff punish the electric. We whiff punish the electric. Wall. Bad Jaguar setup. Missed the hatchet. That's okay. That Hell Sweep's gotta be coming soon. We know a Hell Sweep's coming soon. Nice. Down forward 4, or down 4 to go ahead and close it out. And we got Tekken God, and that's where we left it. So, yeah, I haven't played ranked in a while, man, but it felt good. I think too, a lot of like Armor King really thrives in small Tekken, because he's a jack of all trades and master of none, right? So he's not going to be a master of all of these, you know, all of these stance mix up. He's not going to be a master and you know, with punishment or like counter hitting tools like Lee or anything like that, you know. And he's very versatile. But the thing is, you know, something that Cuddlecore had a Cuddlecore told me this too, is that he gets difficult because you have to be more creative with him. You know, you don't have characters like Azucena where you can just twister your strings and everything like that, and you're kind of at the mercy, or like Ana, you know, like that's a whole thing. Or even then, sometimes Brian too. That was a whole other thing as well. Brian has his own other issues, right? But with that being said, we still came out victorious on that one. I just want to make sure to show you guys, all right? And we still came out victorious on that one. All right, 3, right? And with that being said, you know, we still made it work. It can be difficult, you know, this game can be difficult, but I think it all depends on how you handle it. All right, so with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. It's good to be back. Happy to be making these videos. I'm gonna try to get to God here with Armor King. It's really close, and yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video soon.